My name is Adriana Silvi. I'm currently I've been studying music education for 2 years now. And in that time, I have completed my courses on basic musicianship, as well as attended 3 nationally recognized music education conferences. You could say that education is my passion. I believe that music education is important. Music education is not the best that it could be, and a non-performance-based music class could make music education better. Music education is important. We can't avoid music. Everyone listens to, participates in, and is surrounded by it all the time. It's in the car, radio, as you're on your way to work. It's in the playlist you listen to while you're working out or doing your chores. It's also in the stores you walk around in. You can't avoid it. Music is actually used to invoke strong emotions. Companies will use music to manipulate their customers. Marcin Krauschak told us in his article, Communication via Background Music as an Instrument of Auditory Marketing, that companies will select certain pieces of music to put in their advertisements or places of business that will encourage a certain emotion that will then encourage a specific action. For example, getting you to buy their product or be entertained if it's an entertainment business. Students who participate in music will statistically do better in school. Children's Music Workshop tells us that in schools with good music programs, the graduation rate for students is an average of 92.4% and an attendance rate of 93.9%. In comparison to schools who don't have music education programs, where they have a 72% graduation rate and an 84.9% attendance rate. The 1994 report done by the Texas Commission for Drug and Alcohol Abuse shows us that students who participated in secondary band or orchestra report the lowest lifetime and current use of all substances except for smokeless tobacco. Music education is not the best it could be. Columbia Public Schools, or CPS, requires that each high school student take 1 full year of a fine arts class in order to graduate. There are 2 categories for fine arts. There are the visual arts, which is your painting, drawing, sculpting, fabrics, etc. And there's performing arts. Your performing arts is your music classes. Their options are band, orchestra, musical theater, music theory, and choir. The only non-performance-based class in that category is music theory, which takes a deep dive into the mechanics of classical music and is more geared towards the students who are going to go to college studying music. So, for our students who love music but don't play an instrument, have performance anxiety, or aren't interested in learning about major fifths and classical compositions, they have no options to take classes, so they end up taking a visual arts class to meet that requirement. And other school districts struggle far more with their music and arts programs. Department of Music Education, for the 2009 to 2010 report, shows us that 1.3 million students in elementary schools will go without music education at all. SpreadMusicNow.org tells us that schools that are private or public schools in suburban areas are far more equipped to have better music and arts programs than the rural schools or inner city schools. For these schools, music is often the last program they add and the first program they cut. A non-performance-based music class can help make music education better. As I stated earlier, there's no class available for students who don't like to perform, but generally like music. And not every student who likes music wants to take music theory. So I will now give a brief overview of a class I think could solve this problem. The class itself would have 6 to 8 units, and each unit would go over a genre of music, starting with classical music and then ending with genres more relevant to the music they're listening to: rap, pop, country, EDM. The class will learn about the history behind the genre, as well as a brief look into the music theory behind it. Not so much that they get overwhelmed, but just enough so that the student understands the musical characteristics unique to the genre they're studying. And the last element of the class is a creative project, where a student will get the opportunity to create a song in the genre they're learning about. So we will actually need 2 pieces of software for this. We would first need a classical composition software, such as Sibelius, which is a free software. We would also need a songwriting software that can record audio, create loops, and provide loops, such as GarageBand or Logic. As we established, music education is important, and giving students a non-performance-based music class would give us a more well-rounded music program with more opportunities. And in the end, as we have also established, this can only improve the students' high school success as a whole, as well as their outlook on life. Thank you.